The lighthouse stood tall, a monolith of stone and steel that pierced the darkening sky like a skeletal finger. Its beam of light cut through the gathering dusk, casting an otherworldly glow over the deserted coastline. The wind howled through the rocky outcroppings, a mournful cry that seemed to come from the very depths of the sea itself. Shadows danced across the lighthouse walls as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, ominous silhouettes that seemed to writhe and twist like living things. The air grew colder, heavy with the scent of salt and seaweed, and the sound of the wind took on a mournful, human-like quality. It was as if the lighthouse itself was sighing, its stone heart heavy with some ancient sorrow. As night began to fall, the lighthouse's beam of light sliced through the darkness, casting an eerie glow over the deserted shoreline. The waves crashed against the rocks, sending spray high into the air, and the wind whipped the foam into a frenzy, creating a maddening, rhythmic din that seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. I stood at the edge of the coastline, my boots sinking into the wet sand as I gazed up at the lighthouse with a mix of awe and trepidation. The air was alive with an unseen presence, and I could feel the weight of the lighthouse's history bearing down upon me. According to local legend, the lighthouse had been abandoned for decades, its keeper vanishing under mysterious circumstances. As I approached the lighthouse, I noticed something strange. The door was ajar, creaking in the wind like a beckoning finger. I hesitated for a moment, feeling a shiver run down my spine, but my curiosity got the better of me. I pushed open the door and stepped inside, my eyes adjusting slowly to the darkness within. The interior of the lighthouse was musty and decaying, the air thick with the scent of rot and mold. Cobwebs hung like ghostly veils from the rafters, and the sound of the wind outside seemed to echo through the empty corridors like a mournful sigh. I called out, but my voice was swallowed by the silence, leaving me feeling isolated and alone. As I made my way deeper into the lighthouse, I began to feel a creeping sense of dread. Every step seemed to echo through the empty corridors, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched by unseen eyes. I stumbled upon a series of cryptic messages scrawled on the walls, each one more disturbing than the last. The messages seemed to be a mix of warnings and cryptic prophecies, each one hinting at some ancient tragedy that had befallen the lighthouse's keeper. I felt a chill run down my spine as I realized that I was walking in the footsteps of a madman, driven by a dark and sinister force that seemed to seep from the very walls themselves. As I turned a corner, I stumbled upon a door that I was certain hadn't been there before. The sign on the door read, "Keeper's Quarters," and I felt a shiver run down my spine as I realized that I was about to uncover the dark secrets of the lighthouse's past. I pushed open the door and stepped inside, my eyes adjusting slowly to the dim light within. The room was small and cluttered, the air thick with the scent of decay and rot. In the center of the room, I saw a figure slumped over a desk, a pen still clutched in its hand. As I approached the figure, I saw that it was the lighthouse's keeper, its eyes frozen in a permanent stare. But it was what lay on the desk that made my blood run cold, a series of cryptic notes, each one detailing the keeper's descent into madness. And at the bottom of the notes, a single, chilling phrase, "I am not alone." And then, as I looked closer, I saw it, the keeper's eyes were not frozen in death, but in a living, breathing terror. For as I gazed into their depths, I saw something that made my heart stop, a tiny, glowing orb, hovering just behind the keeper's head, pulsing with a malevolent energy that seemed to seep from the very walls themselves.